morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, the day's support, resistance and pivot levels and the Fibonacci's. It is Tuesday the 27th of April. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlesticks, bearish start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 52,440 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 56,049. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from 55,000 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Bitcoin target 60,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 57,996. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 54.93 and the 23.6% fib at 54.73 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay clear of sub-50s. Second major support level sits at 46,884. Looking at the MACDs, we had a widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, supporting an early pullback. On the EMAs, however, the 50 has pulled further away from the 100, narrowing on the 200, supporting an upside through the early part of the day. So key through the early part of the morning, avoid a fall through the pivot at 52,440 and break back through to 55,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Across to Ethereum against US dollar, also bearish start this morning. Going to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 2461 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 2615. We'll need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break out and back through to 2600 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and last week's swing high at 2646.2 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 2697 to cap any upside. A fall through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 2379 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should stay clear of sub 2200 levels. Second major support level at 2225 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, supporting the early morning pullback. On the EMAs, however, it's still a bullish indicator, with the 50 pulling further away from the 100 and the 200, signaling further upside ahead. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 2461 and break back through to 2600 levels to bring resistance levels and last week's new swing high into play. Across to Litecoin against US dollar, also bearish start. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 239 to take a run at the first major resistance level, staying at 257. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break through to 250s. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib at 262 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Litecoin target 270 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 266. A fall through the pivot, bringing the first major support level at 230 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay clear of the second major support level at 212. The 38.2% fib at 217 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a slight narrowing of the bearish histogram this morning, supporting a slight recovery from the early loss. On the EMAs, the 50 is closing in on the 100 and the 200, so look out for a possible bullish cross of the 50 through the 100 to support further upside after yesterday's partial recovery. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 239, break back through to 250s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels will come into play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, bullish start to the day after yesterday's breakout. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the 38.2% fib at 1.2807 and the pivot level at 1.2513 to support a run at the first major resistance level at 1.4861. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 1.4 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and the 23.6% fib at 1.5426 to cap any upside. In the event of another rally, should see Ripple's XRP target 1.7 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1.6073. A fall through the 38.2% fib and the pivot at 1.2513 will bring the first major support level at 1.1301 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should stay clear of 1.0 levels. Second major support level sits at 0.8952. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bullish histogram supporting this early morning upside. On the EMAs, also bullish indicated with the 50 pulling further away from the 100, closing in on the 200. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the 38.2% fib and the pivot at 1.2513 and break back through to 1.5 to bring resistance levels into play.